was hard, bro. Bro, that's tough. I'm excited to see that one.
This one's near and dear to my heart, man. It's a special story of resilience, just epic, just faith in self. You know, following your dreams. We talking to Super K herself today. You feel me? I'm gonna start off by saying, man, congratulations, man. It's what, been 2 years?
I don't know.
2 to 3 years, man. You took a leap from moving to Florida, changing her whole career path to following her dream and passion in
I
art.
lived in Atlanta for 3 years.
Yeah, so
3 years.
3 years it is then. Yeah, I just want to say congratulations first and foremost. I want to talk about the beginning. Like, I want to start first and foremost, congratulations on a successful first solo art exhibit, you know. You moved out here, you had your first successful show. We're going to get into all that, how you feel, how did it go for you. But I wanted to start off with the beginning. Like, talk about that transition. What made you want to move out to Atlanta to really follow art?
Okay, yeah. I wanted to move out to Atlanta because I was pretty fed up with doing things the way that I had always been doing them, and I wanted to change. So I prayed about it, and I felt like Atlanta would be the best place for me to kind of go if I wanted to pursue art, because Atlanta is an extremely dense in black talent in general, but specifically in arts, in the fine arts world, it's
Sure.
actually loaded with tons of artists. So there's obviously something that's keeping all these folks here. So I felt like that would be the place that would be able to help me foster myself. You know,
So I'm gonna reel you back. So let's talk about what was the breaking point? What really made you decide this isn't for me? Why I don't gotta actually follow my dreams? You know what makes my heart sing?
oh yeah, well, it's just I was unhappy. You realize that you're unhappy, but you're fucking 26 years old. That's just too young to feel that way. And then it's like there's some moments of like meditation. You sit, when you really ask yourself like tough questions. What could I be doing? You just look up and you realize like, man, I don't want to be a paralegal.
Yeah,
It sucks.
for
Maybe
sure.
it's because I've never tried to do anything that I want to do. Maybe I'm unsatisfied.
For sure.
In some cosmic way. So I've got to like follow my heart.
Taking that big of a leap is a really big step out on faith. So talk about the in between leading up to and just a little bit of the experience of being in Georgia and actually ingratiating yourself into the art culture.
Okay, yeah. So I moved out here kind of like in retrospect. I moved out here kind of like not like green eyed or kind of what do they call it, like being green.
Hmm.
'Cause it's like the whole time I was hyping myself up on the way to the move. I was like, I'm gonna move out to Georgia. I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna work in art. I'm gonna paint. And then I can do that. And my real dream though was to like be able to not have to work like a regular job. I didn't want to say that out loud. So I was
For
like,
sure, for sure.
I could work a regular job and paint on the side, and I could figure it out. Which is similar to what I was doing in Florida. But my real thing that I wanted to do is I was like, I want to be a tattoo artist, because I want to work in arts and be able to talk to people, and paint and be in shows and all that other stuff. But I came in and I kind of masked it, with the set with Plan B. I started with Plan B, and I think
For sure.
that definitely shaped a lot of my journey here, but probably for the best. When you talk about good timings for things. So I came out here, started working Plan B. I got a regular job so that I could get an apartment.
Sure.
And then like that was supposed to be like what dug me like or got my footing in Georgia in general. And I was like, I could figure out the art thing, second, which I think is also we put a little star on that. But then like I would say like the first year, I it was really tough. It was really tough. I'd never lived out on my own. having an apartment, as much as I dreamed about it, it felt a little overwhelming. I felt really lonely after moving. Like, that was a lot to adjust to. It was just like a whole lot of new stuff. And then my damn job wasn't working out, So I lost my job and working out, and I don't know. The original, like, you have to, when you make a plan to do something, you really ought to stick with it. You'll feel like I don't know. For me, it felt like there was always something in the air every time I wasn't doing things right on the plan. It always felt like I had like these external pressures, but not like anybody else. It was me. So, um, yeah, I tried. It was the first year was hard. I don't know.
Sure.
I was keeping up with art as best as I could because I was making a little bit off of like commissions and stuff. I ended up getting like a cool little um, assignment with an independent filmmaking place out of Texas. That was cool, and it's like I had just enough money to like kind of float me by, but I was like, ooh, I was barely making my rent, and that was scary. In fact, I think my folks started covering it, and then I started feeling bad, like a loser. It was weird. It was tough. Ugh.
Sure.
And then by the end of my first year, it was weird. It was like I was half inspired, half like just in I don't know, like it's not nirvana, but like just in the like a waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like, and by the end of well, by the end of the first year, because I moved here in the summertime, so it was the springtime coming into summertime again. I got into an art show that ended up being very pivotal towards like sending me back on track with like my life and plans and things.
So, with that being said, once saying that was a pivotal point in your art career, when did the Maya come into place? When did you meet him, and how did that relationship cultivate?
I first met him outside of Articulate, like, cause I got like some kind of collector's event. Articulate is a special like art fair. It's a really special type of art fair. So I hope more people like pick up this idea or grow this concept even further, because it deserves a lot of recognition. So Articulate is like an art fair for emerging artists
Mm.
and emerging collectors, and like it kind of helps give people like everybody like that step up into whatever side of like their interest in the art world is. It's like if you're an artist, like you can finally meet some people to buy your art.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the people who
Nice.
come to that show come to it's so funny. It's like I love art shows.
Yeah,
But some people just be showing you stuff.
yeah. Just chatting you up.
They just be showing. I'd be like, who's selling the art?
Yeah, for sure.
Who buying?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. Oh, I love it. We having a great time.
Sure.
Oh,
Everybody got a story.
So it's nice to have an art show that has people who come to the show because they want to buy some art too. Because that is one of the best ways that you can support an artist is to buy their work.
Mm.
That's one of the best ways you can support a young artist, any level artist. So shout out to George and Sohei Galbraith.
Nice.
Those are some of the people that run, and there's a couple other people that run Articulate, but those are my homies. So
Nice. Shout out to Articulate.
yeah,
So,
shout out to Articulate. But yeah, I met my outside of there. And I already knew about like Peter Street Station. I've been following for I don't know how long. I knew like they had like a jam session
yeah, for
that
sure.
would go on because whenever I was when I did have a Twitter, I follow my Twitter, and he was tweet like, oh y'all can paint in the gallery if that's something you're into,
Yeah.
or like saving artists paint towards the front in the front room, but it's like the gallery space is like wide open. So when I did move to Atlanta, and I was like, in fact, that was like one of the only things that I did socially for a little while because it's like I had to work, and it was like all the people that I worked with,
Mm.
and it's like I just have, making friends takes time, and I definitely wasn't trying to
Yeah.
rush anything with any old people that I met. It's like I'm cool, I just build my life as it goes.
Yeah.
So one of the main things that I did like leave the house for, go do socialize was going to the jam session. And I would paint in the back in the jam session, and then it's like you just meet people,
Yeah.
and when you're doing something that you like to do. It's like you'll meet people with common interests. So I was already doing that. Yeah, and then as far as with my mentorship with Maya, that happened a little bit later. That summer after Articulate, I got another corporate job.
For sure.
Because I was trying to stay in Atlanta. I think I was a little melancholy after the show was because I wasn't sure what I thought for a second that Articulate was gonna be the last thing that I did. I thought, like I lost.
Yeah.
Because I had been out of
It's
a
real.
formal job for so long, and it was coming, like, oh well, it's my lease because I have to
Yeah.
re-sign that. Like, I can't do that with no job. Or I was like, I don't know, like, it was rough. I was
Gotcha.
doggy paddling for a year.
Mm.
But then I had actually right before the show, I had gotten an offer letter for some company, and so it was for a job that would have been enough for me to be able to feel comfortable re-signing my lease.
Mm.
So I was like, all right, I'm staying.
Mm.
You
That's a
know,
blessing.
yeah, and that's what I needed. And I worked that job for a couple of months, and it has its own story that I have to tell, like at
Yeah,
my
that's a
artist talk or
story in
something. It's
itself.
its own thing, but I don't work there no more.
Mm-hmm.
And by that time, I just kind of felt like when I lost the other job, I just kind of felt like blown on the concept anyway. The job was its own thing, but I just wasn't feeling good about that way. That means I don't know. I lost confidence in regular jobs.
Yeah.
If that makes sense,
For
it's
sure.
like because it's just like exactly what do y'all
You don't
want?
see the end goal in it no more.
Like what is the point of this? You spend honestly when you get in that 9 to 5 mode, it's so animatronic, like
Yeah,
turn
exactly.
into a goddamn robot. You lose. I felt like you lose so much time. You don't experience the shit,
Exactly.
And then whatever circumstances you're a victim to, whatever circumstances may be
Mm.
of corporate life. I don't know. Um, so I took a second, and it's like I'd been volunteering at Peter Street, for a little here and there. Like in fact, I started spending more time over there because after I lost my job, I just didn't want to even sit up in that apartment by myself anymore. I
Yeah.
still didn't have a whole lot of friends, mind you. And it's like it was a relief, from what was going on. Um, and I don't know. I remembered that I had originally wanted to do something, you know, and it was like, I don't know, why don't I just try it? Because why didn't I already try it?
Exactly. You already stepped out on faith already.
Already, it's like you can't half step out on faith. Um, you'll feel like the tension of not doing it all the way.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn it, I had said in my head that I was gonna live in Atlanta and I would have a nice loft with some brick, something. I live somewhere where it's walkable
Mm.
to my job, like my art job. My art job, I think I'm a tattoo artist because I can connect with people and talk about art and not have to sit under fluorescent lights. Even though, okay, we just got some fluorescent lights upstairs, but they're nice. They're nice
Uh-huh.
honeycomb lights. It's the different fluorescence lights.
For sure.
But then I can paint, I can do shows. And I said to myself, however, in 2020, when the world was ending, I said, that's what I said I wanted to do. So
Yep.
I was like, well, damn it. I didn't try it yet. I gotta try. So I set an appointment with Maya um, to ask him if I could, do an apprenticeship with him, and we were from there.
That's big. And for those who are not tapped in, we're talking about Miya Bailey, a renowned artist in Atlanta, face known on Peter Street. Really locked into the culture and shook up the world with even just learning and teaching how to tattoo on melanated people. So to be able to get that opportunity when stepping out on faith is a big thing, and I'm proud and happy that you got that opportunity. Cause that's crazy, like, and one of the big dogs in the game. So with that apprenticeship being acquired, we're gonna go a little bit faster in time. So you started getting recognition around the cities. You started getting your face put out there. Black Black Art in America gave you an article, and they started talking about you as one of the up and coming artists in Atlanta. Talk about that and how you felt about it.
Oh yeah, it was an honor. I really appreciate it. It's always such an honor. Um, it's an honor to have anybody like appreciate something that you do in the privacy of your own home. And it's like I don't know. I haven't even really all the way downloaded it yet because I think that's so sick. Because like Black Arts in America is a place that's really trying to get more and more people like looking at black artists, and
That's fire.
for them to have put out an article and include Lil Omi,
That's
to
fire.
their nationwide audience. I mean, I'm so super duper grateful. But I DM'd him. I told him that.
For sure, as you should. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, hey, little old me, I got an
Yeah.
opportunity, and it's showing fruits, it's bearing fruits. So that was a big opportunity. So let's get to the Tour de France. Let's get to what we were here for.
Okay.
Talking about your first solo art exhibit show, Adult Swim.
Okay, yeah. So, Adult Swim is like the painted version of my story moving from Florida to Georgia. Or at least like parts of me, parts of just the concept of like manifestation, commitment to growth, staying resilient, staying down, changing, transformation. Um, and it is partially also inspired by people who marked different moments along this journey as well. So I think, let me see, it's one. I think I got 10 paintings in this mug, 4 drawings, and then lots of mementos from like my personal life, like things from my grandmother's and photos from like the 90s.
Aesthetics.
Yeah, the aesthetic, hashtag aesthetic. But yeah, Adult Swim is I don't know, it's me.
Enough applause. What you got cooking up next, man? What you got involved? What you want to do with the rest of the year?
I want to relax
Mm.
and just stay and chill. It's like not relax. I'm really into like staying active. I paint every day. But I've got like more art to make, more clients to meet up with. I've been working really hard to even be able to say that I have the ability to do this,
Sure.
and I'm not even 100% sure when it clicked through, that I'm already doing what I had
Yeah.
said that I wanted to do. So I just want to keep doing that,
Yeah, for sure.
get better at it. Um,
Appreciating the moment.
and I worked really hard to be able to say that I have a show up in the city of Atlanta, it's downtown Atlanta, Georgia. That I got a couple clients.
You know what I mean?
Shit, I got
Talk about it.
I got a couple tattoo clients. I've got friends, and I've got 2 mentors that love me. I love them. Um,
Yeah.
and I've got a community of other artists just to vibe with and talk about my special interest.
Yeah.
I worked really hard to be able to do this instead of just get up at 7 and get to Maitland so I can sit between my 2 screens and
For sure.
and sue an insurance company.
Yeah.
You know, I worked really hard to be able to get up and come to the gallery and meet with a potential collector after they picked up a T-shirt, you know, and sit and do an interview with my little cousin, you know. So
Relax. But nah, it's a beautiful thing to see the energy in the room, to see the interest of the art, to see the growth. Because for you doing it your whole life and to really step out and be vulnerable in that sense, to put your art out there for people to see, and the great reception you got, man. I'm proud of you. I'm happy to see the journey. I'm proud of the growth, man. You feel me? And I can't wait to see what's next for you. So give your last messages for the people, you know. Drop all your social medias where they can get in contact with you, where they can get tagged with some art and commission you, all that good stuff.
okay, let me see. So my name is Kaylah Hagler. If you look me up, my Instagram is at SuperK. That's SuperKay with 2 underscores. Or if you're looking for some fine art, it's superk.art. If you're looking for some tattoos, it's superk.t. Tattoo. That tattoo. Don't ask me to spell the word tattoo. Too many O's, too many T's. And then my email is heysuperk@gmail.com. Is that what I was? That's all the questions?
Yeah. We are
cool.
set.
I was like, man, ADHD, man.
We are definitely set, man.
What I was saying.
That is another episode in the books. Bring it black, you feel me? Past, present, and future. We got the future with us, you know what I'm saying? A lot of creative stuff going on. We in the A with it. Support. Step out on faith, man. There's people miserable every day living long lives of misery. Don't do it. And we out of there. You hear me?
And I was like, this girl paints like Charlie Plummer. Okay. She like a female Charlie Plummer. I'm saying the way she lay her paint. And the best way I describe her is this. You know how you watch a young basketball player, a real football player, and you say, oh, they got talent. He kind of raw, but he got talent. That's how I saw her. She has this unique skill. And I was like, man, the skill is crazy. I've told her several times. Wow. The skill is crazy. Just keep doing what you're doing. She has a unique skill. It's a special skill. Wow. And to just constantly work on it, the better she gets. And her dedication is crazy.
Definitely.
Like I said, when I saw her, I was like, this. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the functions of techniques and how she really paints, how she
And I've been talking to
I'm looking at that because that's what we do. So, yeah, I've always been a fan. Big fan.